1041 Michael Roman IV, Paphlagonicus, Byzantium Emperor dies of results of dropsy. His wife Empress Zoe elevates her adoptive son to the throne of the Eastern Roman Empire as Michael V. In 1508 League of the Kingdom signed covenant against Venice. In 1510 Muslim ruler of Goa, Yusuf Adil Shah, and his Ottoman allies surrender to Portuguese forces led by Afonso de Albuquerque, who put the Muslim population to the sword. In 1520 Martin Luther publicly burns Pope Leo X's papal bull Exsurge Domine, which demanded that Luther recant his writings. In 1582 France begins use of Gregorian calendar. Battle of Dungeness 1652 Sea Battle at Dungeness, Dutch Lt Admiral Maarten Tromp defeats an English fleet led by Robert Blake. In 1672 New York Governor Lovelace announces monthly mail service between New York and Boston. Newton's Motu Corporum in Gyrum 1684 Isaac Newton's derivation of Kepler's laws from his theory of gravity, contained in the paper De Motu Corporum in Gyrum on the motion of bodies in an orbit, is read to the Royal Society by Edmond Halley. In 1690 Massachusetts Bay becomes the first American colonial government to issue paper money. Eusden Poet Laureate 1718 Laurence Eusden is appointed British Poet Laureate under George I. In 1768 the first of 100 weekly numbers of the Encyclopaedia Britannica, which are bound into 3 volumes in 1771, is published in Edinburgh, Scotland. In 1799 the metric system is first adopted in France. In 1810 English bare-knuckle boxer Tom Cribb beats African-American Tom Molineaux in 33rd of 40 round bout at Copthall Common, England, first interracial boxing match. In 1816 Dutch regained Sumatra from the British. In 1817 Mississippi admitted as 20th state of the Union. 1831 Spirit of the Times, the premier sports journal of the 19th century, begins publishing in New York City. In 1836 Emory College, now Emory University, is chartered in Oxford, Georgia. The Childhood of Christ 1854 Hector Berlioz premieres his oratorio L'Enfance du Christ, the Childhood of Christ, conducting musicians and soloists from the Opéra-Comique at the Salle Herz, Paris. Sherman begins Siege of Savannah 1864 U.S. Civil War. General Sherman's Union Army reaches Savannah, Georgia, and begins a 12-day siege. In 1869 the first American chapter of Kappa Sigma is founded at the University of Virginia. In 1869 women's suffrage right to vote granted in Wyoming Territory, U.S. first. In 1877 Russo-Turkish War, Turkish commander Osman Pasha surrenders the city of Plevna, Ottoman Empire, now Pleven, Bulgaria, to Romanian call Mihail Sershi. Song of the Fates 1882 Johannes Brahms Choir, an orchestra piece Gesang der Pasen Song of the Fates premieres in Basel. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn 1884 Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain is first published in the UK and Canada. Publication in the US follows in February 1885 due to a printing error. In 1887 Austria-Hungary, Italy, and Great Britain sign Balkan Military Treaty. In 1896 Alfred Jarry's play Ubu premieres in Paris. In 1898 the first Western pilgrims welcomed at the house of Abdu Llhpsh. In 1898 Treaty of Paris, which ended the Spanish-American War, is signed by US President McKinley. US acquires Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. 1899-15 British Black Week due to defeats in South Africa. In 1899 Battle at Stormberg, South Africa, Boers Vives British Army. In 1899 Delta Sigma Phi fraternity founded at City College of New York to spread the principles of friendship and brotherhood among college men, without respect to race or creed. In 1901 first Nobel Peace Prizes awarded. First recipients Red Cross founder Jean Henry Dunant and peace activist Frederick Passy. RNT Gen S Nobel for X-rays 1901 first Nobel Prize in Physics awarded to Wilhelm RNT Gen for his discovery of X-rays. Fischer awarded Chemistry Nobel 1902 German organic chemist Emil Fischer is awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for his work on sugar and purine syntheses. Aswan Dam opens 1902 opening of the Aswan Dam at the First Cataract, the first dam across the Nile, and the largest masonry dam in the world. In 1902, women are given the right to vote in Tasmania. Curry is awarded Nobel 1903 Nobel Prize for Physics awarded to Pierre and Marie Curie for their study of spontaneous radiation. In 1904, founding of Pi Kappa Phi fraternity in Charleston, South Carolina. Pavlov, first Russian Nobel 1904. Ivan Pavlov awarded the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine for work on the physiology of digestion, first Russian to win a Nobel Prize. In 1904, King Peter I of Serbia named nationalist regime. In 1905, Austrian pacifist and writer Bertha von Suttner becomes the first woman to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Moissan Nobel for isolating fluoride. 1906, Frenchman Henry Moissan is presented with the Nobel Prize for Chemistry for isolating fluoride. Nervous system work awarded Nobel 1906. Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine is awarded to Camillo Golgi and Santiago Ram N.Y. Cagel in recognition of their work on the anatomy of the nervous system. 1. Roosevelt, first U.S. Nobel 1906. U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt becomes the first American to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Kipling S. Nobel for Literature 1907. Rudyard Kipling receives the Nobel Prize for Literature, the first English-language writer to do so. In 1907, the worst night of the Brown Dog riots in London, when 1,000 medical students clash with 400 police officers over the existence of a memorial for animals who have been vivisected. First woman awarded Literature Nobel 1909. Swedish writer Selma Lagerlöf is the first woman to win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Maeterlinck Nobel for Literature 1911. Belgian poet and playwright Maurice Maeterlinck is presented in absentia.